that is a strategy that Federation leadership has used, is to object, expect the district to say, oh my goodness, and then not go ahead. And life's too short to play the game that way.
So you just go ahead?
We go ahead.
He does not respect the sanctity of a contract. It's the history teacher. This is a lesson that we teach kids, the sanctity of law, agreements. You can't keep violating it and then blame the other person. That's what he's doing.
The man will not listen. He will not cooperate. It is not in his nature. He's like a petulant child. It's either his way or he's going to go after you. The next thing I expect him to do is throw himself down and bang his head on the floor if he doesn't get his way.
What if you lose? What if an arbiter says you cannot keystone?
Well, I think that's sad. I really, again, I don't understand why the union keeps defending the status quo.
To replace the 75% who would be leaving Olney, Yampolsky and the school district held recruiting meetings. The union sent a letter to all of its members and spread the word elsewhere. Do not apply to work at a Keystone school.
And the purpose here.
If they do.
If they do, I wish them luck. They're going to have serious problems in dealing with the situation at Olney. And I think that the record indicates that the vast majority of our members have stayed by the leadership of the union. They have not applied. That's why they can't get the teachers.
The school district had invited 200 people from across Pennsylvania and from other states to this meeting. Ted Kirsch sent 8 union staff members.
You know what? You all better think about this. The teachers that they got rid of, they will do the same thing to you. Okay?
Excuse me, but you cannot interrupt this meeting.
I don't remember interrupting anytime you started.
Interrupt. Matter of fact, Barbara, you want to tell me I had to sit down. I don't know
No,
where
I
to
didn't
stand.
say you had to sit down. I asked you if you would have a seat because, frankly, I think that it's intimidating for you all to stand there.
We want to let these people know what they're up against.
You are free to let them know, and you are free to talk to them when they come outside this meeting.
And
but it's unfair for you to take over.
We have members here whose rights have to be protected.
And those rights will be protected. And
Not by you
guys,
not by you.
And you are free to talk to your members anytime you want, but this is a meeting that was set for a certain purpose, and it is rude to disrupt it.
It's a violation of our contract to have it.
It's not a violation of the contract to have. I'd like to introduce...
My name's David Hornbeck. I'm the superintendent of schools in Philadelphia, and I simply wanted to come and add my own welcome to you to this meeting. You may have noted, whether in the press or in this room this morning, that there is some small measure of controversy.
You have to be ready to make change, and change is difficult, and change is painful.
Over the summer, Yampolsky and Hornbeck moved ahead with plans for a new Olney. But on July 9th, 1997, the arbitrator threw out keystoning. In his decision, the arbitrator criticized Hornbeck. He said that Hornbeck had not consulted with the union as the contract requires.
I would hope that the superintendent will finally come to realize that he has to adhere to not just the language of the contract, but the spirit, the intent. This was to be a cooperative effort, and every step along the way, as the arbitrator points out, the school district violated what they had agreed to do.
Leaving aside whether or not it complied with the legal requirements of the contract, the way he did it was destined to create problems for himself.
Fair to say you blew it?
From my perspective, not at all.
I think David is weak on politics, and I don't mean Democrat, Republican, or dealing with the mayor, or dealing with the city council. I mean the politics of trying to make your case for action before you do it.
We're an open book, and in my judgment, that belies the notion of not listening, of not wanting lots of folks inside the tent, of this business of my way or the highway and all that. I guess that's my view of that particular charge.
Turmoil plagued Olney High School for the next 3 years. Hornbeck removed Renee Yampolsky as principal, but her replacements didn't last long.
You've got
Come on, find a classroom.
In November 1999, Johnny Van became Olney's 4th principal in 3 years.
When I came up to this job in November, our attendance, daily attendance rate was probably around 58%. Come on, put the chips away. Come on, put them away. Come on. My first year goal is to get our attendance up to 70%. As of February the 1st, our attendance rate was 73%.
5 seconds. 2 seconds. Next question.
Keystoning would have allowed Hornbeck to remove 75% of Olney's teachers. Ironically, even though keystoning was rejected, about 70% of the teachers left anyway. Bill Cohen was one of those who stayed. The new faculty, are they different?
Younger. Different. I don't know. I worked with some great professionals 3 years ago. I'm working with some great professionals right now.
Tony Colalongo also stayed at Olney, but he remains bitter about the attempted takeover. Is Olney a better school right now than it was before Mr. Hornbeck tried to keystone?
Absolutely not. Prior to the keystoning, if I lived in a neighborhood, I would not have flinched to send my own children here. If I lived in a neighborhood now, I would look for other places to send my children.
Hornbeck says he's haunted by Olney's failures and determined to see the school become successful.
I mean, I've often described the job here as being responsible for these 258 schools plus Olney. I mean, it has been the bane of my existence because it's a place where achievement was almost not measurable. If Olney High School emerges, as I hope it is emerging now, as a place where kids really begin on a steady basis to learn and excel in larger and larger numbers, then in my judgment, any high school can be reformed.